Daily Broadside, day 658. You know what I have done in my life? I have read a lot of books, read a lot of magazines, read a lot of newspapers and periodicals, as they're called. A lot of pages have been turned. Bob Seger would be proud. And you know what I've never once done? I've never licked my finger to turn a page. What are you people doing? What is this licking your finger? First of all, I don't lick my fingers for like anything, right? Like there's very few things in life that my fingers need to go into my mouth, right? Like you can count those on like two fingers. It's just not a pun intended. It's just not necessary. And I'd be damned if I'm gonna sit there, and just lick my finger every time you turn it. But you gonna lick your finger 300 times while you're at a book? I mean, what? I've never had a problem turning pages. Like, what kind of books are y'all buying? Could I get the extra glue in the pages? Like, what are you doing? Why are they fused together? Why is it so difficult for your fingers to be tactile enough to just flippantly flip the pages, if you will? I don't get it. Probably about a month ago, my youngest son and I watched, regrettably, we watched Indiana Jones. He had seen the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we watched Temple of Doom and the Crusade for Christ, or whatever the hell the third one was called. I don't know. The one where they got the chalice and there's some dude in a cave that's apparently been standing there guarding a bunch of bowls for 4 million years. The whole thing is dumb, right? And the only thing I will give those movies, because I find them all to be they were worse than I remembered. They're just dumb and not believable and everything. They're fun to watch from just a sit back and be entertained on an adventure kind of thing, because the action scenes, like for example, the Temple of Doom when they're riding through the tunnel on the little mine car, which apparently, as evidenced by the length of that chase scene, that mine shaft was about 47 miles long. They were way back in there with Moolah Ram. But here's what I found out upon watching the Temple of Doom that I did not know, and it still makes me scratch my head. I'm probably going to get the years wrong because, it's been a month, but the Temple of Doom is a prequel to the Raiders of the Lost Ark by 1 year. Like, Raiders of the Lost Ark was set in 1939, let's say, and the other one, Temple of Doom, is set in 1938. Now, what I'm bothered by here is, and I don't know if these movies are based on books or if it's just something that idiot Ewok-looking dude that George Lucas did just shit out, and this is the story that came out. I don't know. Maybe if they were based on a book, it would make a little more sense, because then you got like a James Bond thing where this book was written by was it Ian Fleming and Herman Broccoli or whoever wrote the books. They wrote the books in a certain order and there's whatever, but they didn't do the movies in order of his spy career. But anyway, here's the thing. It's like there's nothing in the movie that would let you know that it's necessary to be a prequel. So there's no plot twist, or there's no I can't remember the terms called. The plot, there's nothing in the plot that needs to have reference to a prequel. Like, you could have not made that a prequel, and it's the exact same movie. It's not like they went to the Temple of Doom and they were like, there was something in the Raiders of the Lost Ark that references the other one, or the other one references it. They don't reference anything. The only thing in those three movies that reference one another is the fact that, kind of dates it, is when River Phoenix is running down, that train on a horse and going down to the Viper Room and wherever the hell he's at. He's young, and then you find out. But I was just perplexed as to why they even made that a thing, and who does a prequel like a year before? Like, it should have been like a few years before. And it still doesn't explain why this archaeology professor goes out and moonlights as a gun-wielding. How many people has that dude offed in his archaeological career? Imagine a professor at Cornell who's got weekend, snuffs on it under his belt. It's the whole thing's stupid, and it's very strange and all that. So, one thing that I don't like on the comments of pretty much any social media app is you can't say anything to anybody without the comeback of going, haters gonna hate. And it's like, I don't have to hate you or be jealous of you or anything like that to know that you're stupid and just comment on it. That's all it is. It's like, I don't want to be you. I don't want to have any part of your life. I don't want anything you own. I don't need your stuff. I don't need any of that crap in that. But at the same time, I can't look away at how stupid you are. Okay? The Island Boys are a perfect example. If you don't know who they are, don't even look them up. It's just not worth your time. It just depletes brain cells. But if you say anything to them, you hating, you a pocket watcher, you hating, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not. I just can't look away at how stupid you are. That's all that is. But that's the big comeback is, you just hating. When really, you're not hating, you're laughing. That's the bigger part, And I knew this British chick that used to come to town few times a year, and I would see her, and her name was Commode, by the way. Her last name, not her first name. That would be weird if it was her first name, but her last name was Commode. And with her, I got to witness something that I don't think I've ever seen before. It's kind of like when you give, this story is kind of like when you give a baby, like, baby food for the first time, and they've been, just sucking on titties the whole time, and then you give them, like, some strained pears or something, and they're just like, they light up, and their like world has changed because now they've realized that their palate actually, does different things than just dry, baby milk out of a woman and all. So I'm talking to this girl, and we're having this conversation, and she's talking about how she's never had a biscuit. And she keeps talking about biscuits, and I'd forgotten that that's what they call cookies, right? So she's like, I was eating a biscuit, and I'm like, a biscuit? What the hell are you eating a biscuit for in the middle of the afternoon? She's like, oh, they're right. And she pulls them out, and I'm like, those aren't biscuit, those are cookies. She's like, what? And I said, a biscuit is a biscuit over here, and she'd never had a biscuit, had no idea what I was even talking about. Like, I had to pull up an image on my phone of, this is a biscuit. So the next day, I said, I tell you what, I said, I'll come in tomorrow, and when I get here, I'll bring in a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. And she's like, a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit? What? What? Bacon? Anyway, but that was dumb. And she said, well, next time I come, I'll bring some biscuits proper. And I'm like, well, whatever. So the next day, I brought in a bacon, egg, and cheese. It was one of those, like, enormous ones. Not like a fast food one, but from, like, a local joint that was renowned for that stuff. Well, anyway, so we do that, and I got to watch a grown adult. This woman is probably, I don't know, 38, 36, something like that. And I got to watch her transform from, got no idea what I'm about to eat, to holy crap, this is really good, and your country is severely overweight as a result of this kind of food, but this is really good. But I don't know how we got so far off from coming from a country and then settling here and completely disavowing everything that we ever called anything over there. It's just kind of weird. It was a dumb story, but that's what I told you, so giddy.